I'm just,
Um,
I'm
we
recording it because I have to,
okay,
but
okay. I will be
it's,
real.
it's one of those things where I feel like everyone's in freak out mode. So I am just staying steady Eddie for everyone in the group,
Thank you.
and they're just gonna come when they're ready.
Yeah, they're build it and they will come.
Exactly. So
Yeah,
what's up?
yeah. I was on this call, like a I guess yeah, it was like a business call, and there was this woman, and she does customized socks. And literally, Alex, she almost cried. Like we almost saw her cry and break down because she's like,
Expensive.
I can't, I can't source this for what my clients are going to pay. I, China just got off a 1 month. They celebrate Chinese New Year for a whole month. Like they're down. She goes, it just doesn't work. Like and she was like literally almost crying. We felt so bad for her. I feel, I so feel.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, but anyways, we have a conference on Wednesday. It's an Orange County procurement conference. Oh, hi.
And
I
we have more
remember.
people. Yay.
Hi. And then we have the other big conference in June. So,
Okay. So you've got,
another big presentation in 2 weeks. So,
okay. So what are the presentations? Is there a thing? Is there a different kind of call to action? Have we decided how to productize Angela?
those are excellent questions, Master.
Okay.
Um,
Because I know we
yeah,
productize Pam, but like
yes.
productizing what you bring to the table also, and Sierra and everybody else in the group, I feel like that might just be the theme of today's call of productizing your offerings.
Sign me up.
All right. Got it. Well, guys, I'm glad you're all here.
Oh,
Reza, Andy, Angela, we've got some other people showing up, and I was just telling Angela a couple of minutes ago before you guys hopped on that I'm sort of just being steady Eddie for you all over the next couple of weeks. Normally, I offer a lot more structure around our Monday kickoff calls because it's very formatted. This is what we're going to be focusing on for the whole week. This is how we sell. But with all of the shifts that are happening right now, and I'm not very political, but I am seeing financial shifts and tariffs and things happening when we're ordering hardware and when we're ordering cables, and is it affecting you guys? Angela was just telling us that it's affecting them even in their marketing stuff because they're looking to buy socks, like promotional socks. And the lady on the phone was about to cry because her what was it? The supplies just aren't
Yeah.
going to be way
Yeah.
too expensive now. And
Yeah.
so it's going to be higher than what her people are going to be able to afford.
It was the whole tariffs, and she
Yeah.
just like, how can I source this domestically? Like that doesn't work in the model. And it just was,
Right. So
yeah.
so what I want to focus on is just a check in because it's Monday. Hi, how is everybody? We feeling good? Everybody had a good weekend?
great weekend.
Good. I went to the beach, so you can see that I got a sunburn, and Angela says that my sunburn makes me look like I'm 21. So apparently, who needed Botox? I just needed some vitamin D.
A good burn is good for everybody, Alex. It's all good.
I get my base burn, and then I turn really, and the Kenya necklace. Yes, Andy. So
Lovely.
I went to Kenya with Andy. She actually was
Lovely.
the one of the CEOs on the speaker tour that we went on, that Kenya keynote
Oh,
tour that I'm gonna try to get the MSPs to go to. And
right.
course, Lewis wants the link to the meeting because why would he have the link that I just sent out to everybody on email? So, so one of the main things that I want to focus on, and also I'm glad you had a good weekend. Andy, I'm assuming you had a good weekend as well.
Recovering. I'm trying to put glasses on so you can't see my black eyes from surgery.
Well, you look good.
Oh,
You look
Well, yeah, well, it looks a little different after you take the glasses off. It's like
yeah.
it hides it. My contractor is like, I'm not going to laugh at you, but I am going to laugh at you. I'm like, oh my gosh,
Oh
Oh,
no.
it's all good.
Well, because of all of the changes and the shifts and everything, and I know that I'm a pain in the butt when it comes to everybody selling, and I really want you guys focused on the numbers and understanding how to set goals. And I know I can be a tough cookie sometimes. So I actually wanted to talk more. It's still very important, but I want to make sure everybody's doing it because after last week, I am not sure that everybody's doing it, and that is productizing your offerings. And explaining what you do in a way that if you can't talk about it as a product, services can be very difficult to sell. And so I want to ask you guys what you all are doing to talk about it as if it is a line item or a bundle or a service offering that comes in a thing. It's putting the theoretical box around what it is that you provide. Because Reza, I know you've got 3 tiers of services. Andy, you've got software, but you also do the consulting with the software. And then Angela, you guys are mainly consulting with another software solution, but I don't think you guys have been pushing that software hardly at all.
The website accessibility.
Mm-hmm.
We try.
Mm-hmm.
It's a tough one, especially even in California. Like, I don't know. I would think people, it's sometimes it's just really disappointing, right? I would feel like people would care and want to do it, but they'd rather just get in trouble and then pay the fee. Which,
So I wonder if that's how people are acting anyways. Listen, I'm all for being proactive and trying to get people
right,
excited about something before the problem.
right.
But
But
it can also be fun to like drive the knife in and say, doesn't this hurt? Doesn't this hurt? Doesn't this hurt? Here's a solution. We can take that away, right? So
yeah.
you can bring that to people after they've gotten in trouble too. And
Mm,
and again, it's productizing it. So if you're seeing the pattern, especially with the way that the economy is about to go, which by the way, buy stocks, obviously, yay, it's on sale. Go do that now. But if you're already seeing the pattern and people are already willing to get in trouble and pay a fine,
mhm,
it might be more appropriate for you to come and say, told you so,
mhm,
right? Now come, let me help you.
hmm.
You don't get into more trouble, right? Because it may just be your messaging.
Maybe, yeah. The whole like again, disappointing little, but the inclusivity and the right thing to do, and it's actually the law, and there's a newly signed bill, and if you're not ADA compliant, like all those words, especially ADA, everyone knows, but yeah, I guess it's a slow tear off of the Band-Aid
Yep.
might be more of approach. Yeah, that's
And
true.
I'm not saying give up on the proactive stuff,
Hmm.
but if you
Hmm.
keep on getting the, oh yeah, I'll talk
Yeah.
to
Hmm.
people, or oh yeah, we'll kick it down the road, and then you're doing the right things in a sales process, saying, okay, what happens in 6 months if you don't have this?
Right.
Maybe you do a targeted approach to people that have already gotten their hands smacked.
Hmm.
And I don't know if you guys, if you've done this, Angela, too, is not just say, hey, it's the law, but also say, hey, these fines can be up to
$1 million,
XYZ.
yeah. Mm,
Yeah. Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So,
Yeah. Good point.
and so now, because Andy spoke up, hi, Andy,
You don't look like you had surgery.
right? She doesn't look like she has.
It's
No.
a lot better than it was a couple days ago. In fact, every time we were like I was gonna make a T-shirt that gave all the reasons, like do you want the real answer or do you want like really creative answers? Like I dropped my marshmallow in the fire pit and I decided to get it.
I like that one. So
Yeah.
with your focus, because you've also been dealing with some mindset stuff and moving around and figuring out kind of where you want to, because with you specifically, and Reza, I feel like this might be you too. If you can't go all in on something, you're not going to go in at all. So I'm getting two head nods. So if you can't go all in on something for whatever reason, and we can get into mindset later and we can talk about that type of thing of, what you need to do to overcome certain activities. What can you monetize? What can you offer? What can you sell as a product? And what type of time can you put towards sales activities, even if it's just a little bit in the right direction? Not to put you on the spot, but you joined the call and I missed you.
So last week we talked about this peach, although actually it moves me. It makes me thinking.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have a program in place that I can say, okay, well, I can run that particular program, build up my strategy and anything. So I work out on the program and then I put the base in it,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
And now I know a lot more. So thank you for that.
Good. So
So,
what I really want you guys to focus on though is, and I love that because, and this goes for Lewis too, because even though you're going keynote, it's understanding the path that you want your customers to take. And that's why I'm saying it's so important to productize, right? So I'll give you an example and I'll use the cyber sales example of it because it's an easily translatable, example because I started this in marketing. I moved it to software. I took it out of software and moved it to sales services and implemented it that way. So I know that this works in almost any industry and it's just copy and paste. But it's understanding the pathway that you want your customer to go and the pathway that you want them to grow into working with you. So, for example, an MSP may have an assessment. You do the assessment and then you pitch the services, right? I have something similar where I say, okay, I'm going to make you pay for an intensive. You do an intensive. I not only, and Angela and Pam did an intensive with me, and it was a long process. They got like a 20-page document out of it, but that 20-page document does two things. One, it gives them a clear path if they follow it. It gives them a clear path of what to do next and what they need to do for their sales and their marketing and their growth in general from a business perspective. But it also is a really easy way for me to say, hey, these are the identified pathways for you to grow. Here's where I think cyber sales could help you if you so choose, which is one of the reasons why they are still in TechSellerate, right? Because this was an option for them to continue on with working with us. And then they could do some of the things internally. And then if they need a resource or if they need something else, I can help them. Andy, for you, with the consulting and the software, I know again that you're not ready to go full court press into all of that right now, but understanding that maybe you go in with a consulting piece where it's sort of that planning might be a really
I do the same thing as you do. I'm
Yeah.
like, here's your 20-page strategic plan. These are what to accomplish every month. This will get you to the results that you need.
Yep.
You don't need to hire me, but I
Mhm.
recommend you do because I streamline this for you with you instead of you trying to figure it out on your own. But hey, go for it.
But who am I? I've only been doing it for 30 years. Right.
30 years, exactly.
Exactly. But that's what I'm saying. Like if you're already doing it and your head's not in the game to do the sales. And I think that's really what I'm
That's my biggest thing. Like if I'm in front of somebody, it's easy, but
totally.
to proactively do traditional sales, that's where I'm hiccuping and I need to like for me, I'm like I don't do the soft and squishy. I'm like, get your fucking ass, excuse my language for anybody who's offended by that. Get your ass off your ass and get your ass off your ass.
So
And
good one. I'm glad we're recording.
and and do what you have to do. And as you know, there's been a lot of not only just normal sales processes, but also, all the stuff that comes with life that's pulling me away from it.
Yep. Yep. And
So
then, and Lewis, I saw your hand. Give me 2 seconds because I just want to respond really quick and then I'll let you go. One of the things that you all have to decide, we already talked about setting aside some time to make some sales or some calls and just do it. I mean, if it's 10 calls, suck it up. It's 10 calls. You know what I mean? Whatever you're going to sell, whether it's the services, the software, an affiliate relationship, whatever it's going to be, just make the calls because 10 calls is 1 hour. You knock it out and you're done and respond to your emails. That's not hard. Second is, again, productizing and following the clear path and journey that you want your clients to take if they were a perfect prime target, right? So and Lewis, this is why I'm going to let you talk in a second, because I'm going to ask you two things. One, what you were going to ask, and then two, what does that client path look like for you? Are they a workshop client, right? Where they come in and they get a workshop from you, and then you get them into a leadership training, and then you continue to market to them and they get you to a keynote. That to me seems like a really easy pathway for them to follow, and it's productizing everything you do. Now I'll let you talk. Go ahead.
No, this is awesome. You asked the right question, but I want to comment on what Andy said because I was saying something to my speaking coach that I said the same exact thing. I'm realizing that my message actually, I'm getting too hung up on courage. Okay. The thing that we need to do is to get up off our ass and do the thing, right? Whatever it is. And I mean, it dovetails nicely with the courage. But moving on to your question, because I had the good fortune over the weekend to connect with the owner of a speakers bureau who's been in business for 50 years. And one of the things that she talks about is that it's the speaking business has changed. It's not about the keynote. It's about all those other things. And I was I'm doing a workshop in about a week and a half, and I was putting my slides together for the workshop and I used my keynote slide deck as the basis, and I was just like stripped out all the superfluous fluff
Mm-hmm.
and put
You did?
in, I did.
And you don't have any vague stuff?
If I do, it's coming out.
I'm gonna be
But
so proud.
but as I'm putting the deck together for the workshop, I'm thinking this is also the keynote,
Mhm.
but it's like instead of spending 30 minutes on, part two, part three, and all that, it's in a way it's a trailer, right? The keynote is the trailer for the workshop, and
Yes.
the executive
That's
coach.
yes. That is what I want you guys to identify. So yes, sorry to cut you off, but this is exactly what I was trying to explain, Reza, earlier with your pathway. So if you guys can just think about it, just earmark what you want your clients to do. Angela, this is for you too, especially with what Pam is doing on stage, and then you open up these opportunities, but you don't know what you want to actually sell these people. I'm going to shut up now because I'm going to let Lewis finish, because then we're going to get back into it. So, Lewis, go ahead.
I'm just going to extrapolate to Reza and pretty much any other business that and maybe if you make your own slide deck, it'll reveal itself to you, or you could write it down on a pad. But basically, you start out with the problem and say, hey, there's not enough courage in the world. And the reason it's a problem is that 77% of workers are disengaged. And this means X number of dollars lost. And then you go into how you're going to solve it. And so for an MSP, I mean, you've got scary stats, right? It's like 80% of small businesses are going to get hit by ransomware this year. What are you going to do about it, right? And then so you present the problem, and then you step them through the solution, whether it's bringing you in as an MSP, or you can be the third party objective auditor once a year. You can do, I mean, whatever it is, right? And you start with, maybe you start with one thing, and then you say, oh wow, what if I did this too, and this and this and this, uh, and that I think is the message that you're trying to convey.
Correct, correct, exactly right. I took some notes.
So
So I'm really
let me ask
excited.
you a question. I'm just going to go around the meeting in no particular order. I'm going to start with Angela. Walk me through your customer journey. If it was a perfect prime customer and that client showed up via one of the speeches, because that's really where you get a lot of your leads. So let's just say that's your primary lead,
Okay.
right? So you're at one of the speeches, they opt in, they're gonna buy a thing. What's that first thing you're going to sell to them? And then what happens?
So we have been promoting during and after her presentations a bonus session for Q&A.
Mhm.
So that we can collect more information about them. And then from there, we've been offering them some solutions or answers, but really it's to find the pain points, right? And then we have been offering them mini assessments, a group type situation, and maybe the full blown, the works,
Mhm.
which has worked. Just
Okay.
worked.
Yeah, no, I mean,
Just the numbers.
I would assume
Yeah,
that has worked. It's just a numbers game at that point, right?
exactly,
Um,
exactly. And the automation is not where it should be.
And that's okay as long, listen, I get that it's not going to be perfect unless you have a Luis or somebody on staff to just sort of build things out, which
Yeah.
we actually do have that wired webinar coming up this coming Thursday at 12 p.m. Eastern. I will send you guys the registration link for a build out that I searched long and hard for a resource for everybody to have their go high level or their CRMs built out. Best one I could find instead of internally building them out in HubSpot, Go High Level, Glass Hive, all of the ones, right?
Yeah.
Salesforce.
Yeah.
We do still have integrators that we work with in-house, but I partnered up with Luis, who Louis you've met,
Yeah.
with Luis, who took all of my cyber cells strategies and implemented them on the build out. So I now know that anybody that gets with him and takes advantage of this, it will work so that the automations are there and the tasks are
Yeah.
there. I'm not saying you can afford it right now, but I am saying they have financing options. We can make it work. So if it's something in the future, worst case scenario, listen to him and see what you think. So I'll somehow find that link at some point in my Slack because I know he sent it to me. So we've got I wonder if I can just give the Zoom and you guys can just show up, but I guess I'll make you register. We'll do that.
I want to say to Lewis too, that was a very good point because we were also taught too that in these sessions we need to solve the problem for them. We need to tell them in that presentation how we are going to help you solve that problem. And if we don't make that clear, then there's going to be no reason for them to come back to us.
Absolutely.
And so, Lewis, you're right. Yes. Yes.
But now the other thing too is that you can pitch to them, you know, without selling, right?
Right.
You
Right.
right. So
Can't be sale.
here is a solution,
Right.
okay? And then they realize, yeah, that solution makes sense.
Yes.
Let's do it ourselves. Oh, wait. Oh my God, no way, we
Hard.
can't do it ourselves.
Hard.
Let's bring Angela, right? So you make it so that they
Right.
have the realization that oh, we need Triumph.
Mhm.
Right? So it's not like you need us to come in and blah blah blah. It's like no, you need to do this. Like here's how you solve it. And then and you don't even say we're here if you need us. No, it's like they're smart. They know they need you.
Correct. Yes. Very good
So,
point.
so then let's go down to Andy. Even though you are, sorry, not down, but she's down for me. So I went for clockwise. I'm going clockwise. So Andy, when we're taking a customer through the customer journey for you, Is it more about the software? Is it about the consulting? Is it what
It's neither. I actually have the mentorship program,
Mhm.
but there's a 30-day. I don't generally let anybody go directly to the mentorship program because I start out with the 30-day consulting project, which is the strategic plan. Because what that does is that's where the deep dive and the discovery is. That's how I know what the goals are, what we can reach, and then gives them the opportunity to know if they want to work with me and gives me the opportunity to know that I actually can help them.
Okay. And then whatever happened with your 30-day challenge on Facebook?
Do I have to admit it out loud?
You do. You have to admit it out loud. It's okay. Angela didn't even do hers.
So I did, and then I was like, I actually don't have a plan. And then I figured out the 30-day plans, and then I was all ready. And then I realized I don't want to just have the plan. I want them to be some kind of a worksheet for each day, which took me. I actually finished it this weekend, so I'm actually ready to start that again. But there were other things I was like, well, I want to do this and I want to do that, and I'm not ready for that. But now I'm actually ready. So.
Okay. So if we're attracting people for
But
that,
I can't do a video with the black eye. That's the thing that's holding me back now. So I gotta wait till next week, till Monday, so I can put makeup on after the stitches come out.
fine. We'll
Yeah,
let
So that's
Alex.
my excuse. That's my big
Yeah.
excuse.
Do you
And then I
really,
was trying to
do
do
you
it before
really,
I
I
got
think you
the
look lovely.
surgery.
Jesus. Wait. So then
you make it, do
I'll
you
let you
really
wait.
have to, do
You were breaking up, but I'm
you
sure
really have to wait?
she has to wait.
Well, it was like a couple days ago, it was really bad. Today is actually not so bad. So I think I can get away with makeup, but the
No, just
stitches come out Wednesday.
get
So
some
So
Charles glasses.
I have really dark glasses, but then I'm like, I don't want to look like, I'm high or something.
It's no, just get on there and say that you are high because you're
Monday kickoff is going off the rails, guys. This is
psychotic because you had eye surgery.
so
For each of the 30 days, I'm going to give one excuse why I have a black eye. Today, I dropped my marshmallow in the campfire.
not gonna go well.
Tomorrow,
So
you
then
know how they say?
let's give it till next Monday to start it. But I do think you need to start it because it will make things a lot easier to at least bring qualified people into your circle, especially because you're fighting the urge. And listen, again, we'll work on mindset. We'll get you guys up to a level where you feel like doing the sales. But let's be honest, as entrepreneurs and business owners, sometimes it's a little too much. And I get it. I really do. I truly get it that sometimes you don't feel like doing the sales. It's it can be scary. It can feel like it's like the frog that you have to eat in the morning, and it can be a pain in the butt. So at least if we know that we're doing all the other things and you can't bring 100% to the sales game, you at least are bringing 20% to the sales game, and you're doing some of the things because you've already got the Facebook challenge going and your lead gen, and some of the automations are turned on, Angela, and some of the and some of the next steps are just happening so that people are booking calls. Like there are days where I don't feel like doing sales calls. I don't feel like closing deals with people. It's like I hired my people. They have the sales gig. Why do I have to show up for the meeting? So as long as I have the things in place, people are still booking my calendar. Great. I'll have a conversation. It's a lot easier when you just turn on the lights. But if you don't turn on the lights and you don't have that clear path of the direction you want people to go, and the fact that you are as self-aware as you are, Andy, makes me happy because, okay, it's not the time to push this or this, but you still have to monetize. So you got to offer something.
One thing I really love, and I don't know if you've heard this or if anyone else has heard it, is, how do you make it, how do you, short version is how do you overcome what you're trying to avoid or procrastinate on? And one of the things I really love, which I'm going to implement, and I procrastinated on implementing it, is you actually want a no, because once you get 300 no's, it's like not a problem anymore. So you're like, no, yes. And
That
you
one.
and you know you tally your no's because your no's are actually going to help you in the long run. So it makes the no more of an incentive as opposed to a fear.
So may I disagree with that for just one thing, one
Of
element of
course.
it? I don't love a no if it's not a true no. So this was ingrained a long time ago. If they are qualified to buy, so you guys know that if I don't, and Reza, you don't know this yet because we haven't done your office hour for this week to get your goals set. So show up tomorrow and we'll knock that out first thing. But what we do is we look at budget authority need timeline. So you guys have all heard me say BANT. So if it is a qualified call and they have booked you, it's never, I mean, it's never really going to be a no. It's probably a not right now, or you didn't do enough to have a conversation with them for them to sell themselves.
Yeah, agreed. I'm talking about like cold sale, like
Yes,
cold
yeah.
outreach.
So cold outreach, I'm trying to avoid you ever having to do it. I don't want you guys,
Ideally, yes.
no, we don't want to do
But I
cold.
also want to, like, I completely agree for lots of reasons. But one is just, I've never been the person, which you know, to be afraid of something. And it bothers me that I'm afraid of it. And so that's just why I want to do it more than anything else.
Okay. I respect that. I still don't want you doing cold calls. I think your time is more valuable than cold calling. And once you've gotten into a cold call routine where you as the expert are cold calling, I think it diminishes your
Diminishes.
value.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It diminishes your.
Agreed.
Now, I'm not saying I'm above making a phone call to somebody who is interested. I'm fine doing that. I'll do that all day if I need to. If somebody's out, if Bonnie or somebody can't call right away, I'm not going to let somebody wait for 10 hours just because I don't feel like making a call. Of course I'm going to call.
Right.
At the same time, I'm the expert. And so for me to be banging on the phones, it's a waste of my time. I could be doing the thing, right? So
Yeah,
you may you
absolutely.
may want an SDR or somebody to get 300 no's. I would rather do cold email outreach with an intent search and get 40% click-through rate and then take them through a funnel so that they're at least interested and then have somebody call those people because those people are still interested. And then once you get them, they're booking a call with you. So at that point, you at least have high level of interest. You can get budget authority, need timeline all on a call. Then you can move them to an opportunity. And once they're an opportunity, they're not going to be a no. It might be a not right now. It might be I got to get my finances straight, but it's not a no.
Understood and agreed. I
Okay.
mean, I don't really get very many no's when
Yes,
I'm actually working.
correct. Lewis, it's your turn anyways. I'm moving to you. I'm going
Yeah,
clockwise.
I'm just thinking, can't you make the cold calls and say that, hey, you know what, I'm slumming it today. I'm not usually the one on the call, but um, I want to see if it gives me butterflies or whatever. Like,
You could, but Lewis, for you and for any of us, right? What I'd rather you do is do the networking or the canvassing in person, right?
yeah,
To me, that is you've targeted them. You're in a place where it's one to many, or at least you can knock down a couple of doors really fast, and you've already targeted those people and they are qualified at up to a point. You were the best one in this entire group, and I'm talking of the whole group, like not just the people on this call, but the 40 people in the group right now. You were the best one on canvassing. It's something you're good at. You light up in front of people and face-to-face stuff. That's your thing. So
no, it's anything.
it's 100% your thing. So if that's your thing, then let a cold caller do cold call. I would still say put a solid, cold email out on an intent-based email, or somebody that's going to have a keynote or a large speech or large event that needs speakers or people that are looking for workshops. Go and provide that and see if you get interest. but then
Yeah.
go to where those people are and network the hell out of it. That's your strength. And so lean into it. But I still think cold calls are going to be a waste of your time. And
Um,
for a sales coach
yeah.
telling you guys this, no one else is going to say this to you because they're all going to be like, "Oh no, cold calls, you still have to do it." And yes, you do still have to do it, but you don't have to do it. Do you guys understand the difference?
Yeah, but like so my situation is unique in that I've run out of runway. And so
Have you done the email blasts with a full sequence? Six,
uh
six emails,
what's that?
6 emails. It's 6 in a row. If they open it 4 times, give them a call. If they click on something twice, give them a call. But six emails.
Okay. No. Yeah, no, you know what? I'm not going to hem and haw because I'm like in I'm in beast mode.
Mhm. And beast mode
Like,
is fine because you're already working LinkedIn, but
yeah,
you're missing that piece of, okay, these are all the people that I'm going to be focusing on. I'm on the hunt. And I'm not saying, and so do you understand the difference between a cold call and a warm lead or a warm introduction? At least somebody that has shown interest in what
right.
you've got to offer. I want somebody who has opened up your emails at least 4 times and clicked on something. Otherwise, it is a waste of your time.
Okay. No, that I mean that makes sense. Like I have a list of associations that have events
Mhm.
starting in October because it's like you got to plan 6 months out.
Yeah.
And um, I my strategy there, which I haven't completely implemented, is I took it into Meet Alfred, and I am following everybody in those associations. Now that's thousands upon thousands of people.
Mhm.
Now the next step is out of those thousands of people, I need to identify the people who are um, you know, decision makers on the event side, right? So I have to find out like who's the person I need to talk to if I'm going to be a speaker at the event.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm going to sift those out from the thousands upon thousands of people that I'm following, um, and then email them, call them, all that. That I mean, that's what I think I need to do. But I see where I can take that group and create an automated
Yes.
campaign, so that I get my gold star in TechSellerate.
Well, but it's
Um,
not just about the gold star and TechSellerate. It's working the least amount with the most return. And what I have found in this group particularly is when people do not achieve the results they want, it is because some of the execution didn't happen. So I'm not
that's
I'm not saying it's just you. It's you, it's Keith, it's Clint, it's anybody that doesn't do the thing in sequential order. That's the only time it fails.
and it's probably not that hard.
It's not hard. So when I'm giving you guys exact steps, it's so
Mm.
important to follow the exact steps and don't go outside of the lines. When you start getting the results, then it's great. Start A/B testing, color outside the lines, get creative. I love that, but not before you've mastered it. It's like I tell my kid, she's like, "Oh, I want to get a motorized scooter." I'm like, "Kid, you haven't even learned how to ride a bike." And she's like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, "You don't know how." And so I won't let her get a motorized scooter, a Vespa, a motorcycle, anything until she masters the bike. You got to use the bike.
No, it's true. I I had this realization about my whole, the whole thrust of my new business, and I was so hung up on courage. And then it's like I was working on my workshop over the weekend, And that's when I rediscovered this thing, my chromatic harmonica.
Oh my God.
Um, for 40 plus years, I keep back to the thing, and I can't, like, I haven't been able to get on the, up the ramp. And it's now all of a sudden it's like, oh, wait a minute. This is the thing, right? This harmonica and my, I mean, you could say it was my distraction, but it's also like this is what the whole message is all about picking up that thing that you've been
Putting off.
procrastinating, putting off for 40 years, and just do it, right? I mean, we all know that, but like, here's, I have a 3-point plan to master the thing. And
And
but
I don't tell you guys anything you don't ever already know. Like truly, like you all have heard the things that I say multiple times from multiple different sources. I am not bringing you nuggets of wisdom that are brand new. I'm just not.
no, you're sparking hey, all right, let's get off our ass.
Mhm.
Um, like, I don't want to scare people off by making them feel that they have to be courageous, right? Because even I let them know, hey, you don't have to jump out of an airplane. Okay, but
But
even
small
then,
acts and what you're delivering is the feeling and the motivation for them to get off their asses. So now you have to do the same thing. But
no, exactly.
but I'm at 44, so I'm going to switch over to Reza and then we're going to come back. So Reza, you're the last one in the group.
Okay.
Your turn
Your turn to talk about what my strategy is.
so far. So
So,
what's your strategy for people to enter in? I know you have 3 tiers.
mhm.
What have you done to plan your customer journey and how to expand? And if you haven't given a lot of thought to that, that's okay. But that's what this conversation is about, because productizing what we have and then taking them through the journey, that's the only way, especially right now, that people are going to dig in.
Exactly. So what I did was I actually move on some idea, and then I get first of all, we never gather leads, and I thought there's something is something you have to always purchase, something you have to go outside to get it. And I was basically didn't investigate. I'm a good technician. I never was. I have to be a good salesman. No, I know that's the only salesperson who can really sell it is me.
Mhm.
So I have to be prepared that I have to do some changes here. So now I'm getting tools. I'm getting some leads to get it done, and I know I prepare my plan to how I can promote myself,
Mhm.
how been what I'm doing, and then I can emphasize of 3 points that I'm doing. And the 3 points are essential to my business. I have to bring them to the people that they can see it. And then once they see it, they may react to it. Just like you said, we're gonna do some emails.
Mhm.
And then if they'll respond to it or link in feed or something similar to it.
Okay.
So we're gonna prepare those, and then once we do some reaction, we're gonna promote them. We're gonna go act as maybe calling
But let
them,
me
and then
but let me ask you a question. After you close them, so say it all goes perfectly, and then what we can do is we can dig in a little bit further. And it would be great if you guys all could jump into office hours tomorrow, because I think we're on to something here and I'd like to keep on mapping it. But assuming that all of your marketing and your sales works and you close somebody, what is their customer journey after they're already closed?
okay.
What's
So
that like?
we have an onboarding process pretty massive. So the onboarding process, which I developed a few years back, is pretty solid.
Okay.
So what we're gonna do is we have to first phase is discovery. We have to do discovery the customer,
Mhm.
main people, what they do and what they don't do, and then we flat out what we are gonna do for them, and then we put them onboarding for them. The onboarding is content 3 steps. So first step is just a software installation. We do all the software installation needed, and the contacting administrator, the people who really need to do something. We
Mhm.
contact them. We prepare all those reporting mechanism for them.
No, not talking about the onboarding.
Mm-hmm.
Talking, and maybe let me clarify a little bit. I'm not actually talking about where you grow the client. So
Mhm.
when they come on, are they just at a certain tier and then there's no expansion plan, or do you have an expansion plan?
Oh, yes, sure. It depends. The customer to customer is very, very different. The
Mm.
expansion plan, for example, is just if they need VoIP, for example, if they need
Sure.
assessment, for example, then we always promote them. We always promote them. Some people react to it, some people don't. And
Okay,
we don't push. We don't really push anything.
got it. So may I make a suggestion based on that observation? What I would suggest, and this is going right back to the beginning of the conversation where I'm saying productize everything you have and put bundles together. While yes, you can absolutely a la carte things based on what people need, desire, or want, it's always easier to say, oh, you know what? We do have a conference package, right? So you're on tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, whatever that is. We have a conference package. It gives you VoIP. It gives you custom connectivity inside of your rooms. And we come in and we make sure that all of your conference devices are connected if you're on-prem. If they don't need every single feature, that's totally fine. They're still paying. But if they do, that's great. You already have the bundle, but then you're also making VoIP. You're also getting those things. It's just, I'm saying bundle that so that you have a product centered around the thing. And again, case by case, if you have a client that needs just VoIP, sure, give it to them. I'm not saying don't take their money, but if you can productize it and bundle it all together, it will make your life so much easier.
Mm-hmm.
And it's an easier, clearer path to adjust to more revenue faster when you just say, oh, well, it comes with this and it comes with the training. Just a thought.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes, good stuff.
So just think about that. I would definitely urge if you guys are having any productized questions to come to office hours tomorrow or the next day, because again, in response to everything that's happening in the economy. I mean, listen, after tariffs, and this is for international clients, this is for internal clients, this is for everybody. Everyone's in freak out mode. And so buying decisions are all going to come down to how much value am I getting? And can I touch, taste, feel that value? And can I see the deliverable really, really quickly? So for a service-based organization, especially you, Lewis, we have to give the actual deliverables and put it in a pretty package with a bow so that people understand exactly what they walk away with. And it's stupid not to say yes. Does this make sense to everybody the way I'm saying it?
Yes.
Okay. So if you guys can come to office hours, we'll dig in. Obviously, Reza, you and I have to do your goal setting because we were supposed to do that last week, but then we got sidetracked with all the other conversations. So you're number one on the list tomorrow to do goal setting through the pipeline sheet. But we did get through your resume, the company resume. Well, how was that?
It's great. It's
Okay,
phenomenal.
good.
Yeah.
How
It's
many
simple, but it's effective.
how many of you all have looked at the company resume since you started? It's a good reminder. So if you haven't looked at it recently, I would highly suggest you bring it up again. It's in the portal. I will mention it and tag all of you in there. Andy, I don't know if you've ever done the company resume with me, but I think it would be a really good exercise for you if you wanted to hop in office hours as well. And then I also put inside of the group the link to the webinar. And then we have the video about working through the no from Lewis. I'm excited. I want to see that. I love it when you guys show me what you guys do. That makes me happy. I'm gonna put this on another tab. Okay. So finishing up, Have I forgotten anything? Do we need to touch on anything before I let?
Just in something that can be taught.
Sorry,
There is Liz.
there was Lewis. Does
Okay.
anybody have anything?
Helpful, Alex. Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm glad you came. Show up more.
Just show up.
Show up. Get off your ass and show up. That's the whole theme from today. Get off your ass and show up. All
Yeah,
right.
just, and if you watch that video, you're gonna find that, oh my God, it's raw, it's unpolished. He should, have a producer or something and
No.
tell him.
Nope. Actually, you know what? Just got a report. The highest trending socials right now are coming from raw stuff that is not edited.
No,
So
exactly. No, that's what I'm saying. Although mine is edited, but it comes across as like some guy who knows just enough Final Cut Pro to be dangerous.
Perfect. That's what everybody wants.
love that for us. Yep. So I will also get off my ass today and get some things done that I was going to get done. But let me know if you guys need me for anything. Otherwise, I will see you tomorrow. And I'll give you back a couple of your minutes.
Thank you.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.